In life, things often don't go the way we want. Your heart gets broken, you missed your flight, a family member passes, there is a war. There are a million ways things can go wrong, and we start getting anxious when our life doesn't go as we planned or envisioned. So we start controlling things by making sure our loved ones are okay, they take care of themselves. You push, they move away. You control, they ignore. And it's exactly at that precise moment that you realize you can't do anything about it. And you have no choice but accepting the situation and face the next heartbreak when it comes your way and not worry about it now. It will just happen, no matter what you do. Let them. Pema Chodron says things come together and they fall apart. Then they come together again and fall apart again. The healing comes from letting there be room for all of this to happen. Room for grief, for relief, for misery, and for joy. By the moment this video is released, there seems to be a barely stable ceasefire. But in the days leading to that, things were scary. My family and friends in Iran were not safe under attacks from Israel. Billions of people were breathlessly refreshing their news feeds to know what's happening next. They were waiting and waiting and waiting. The days were spent sitting around, checking news, being panicked, reaching out to family and friends to ensure they're fine, wondering where the next attack to is. Which news are true, which ones are fake, who's gonna win this war? There is no winner in a war, but there are always innocent people who lose their homes, their loved ones, their lives, and those who carry the trauma for a lifetime. We started this month by going to Kehon's concert with this cool orchestra. Then had some delicious strawberries, bought snorkels and sunscreen, packed up, and got on the road. We drove for almost 10 hours from Istanbul to Fethiye. Last time we were in Fethiye, we hiked up some parts of the Lycian Way, Likya Yolu in Turkish, and this time we are going down to the beach for some water activities. First time scuba diving for me, second for Scoot. It was an amazing experience. I have a fear of deep water and I panicked at first when descending. The fear didn't fully go away. I was still uneasy the whole time, but I kept going. With each breath, I reminded myself to stay present, and somehow, despite the nerves, I managed to do it. I didn't feel brave in the moment, but looking back, I'm proud I faced something that was completely outside my comfort zone. In the book The Fourth Turning, They argue that every 80 to 100 years, societies go through a four-part cycle, much like the seasons: the high, the awakening, the unraveling, and finally the crisis, the fourth turning. And now, as we navigate 2025, we're living through a fourth turning. The last major crisis cycle began with the Great Depression and culminated in World War II. The world came out of it transformed. New institutions, a new world order, and a deep desire to avoid another war. But the cycle began again, quietly and predictably. The war between Israel and Iran is no longer a shadow conflict. The Ukraine war drags on with no clear end. The US and China are in a cold war of influence. Economic volatility, climate disasters, and political extremism are reshaping every corner of the world. I was thinking about all of this, the chaos, the patterns, the turning, and comparing it with the climb through the freezing waters of Saklukind Canyon. Every step was uncertain. The water flow was strong. Sometimes the only way forward was to lean into the water, get fully soaked, and trust your footing in the unknown. And isn't that what a fourth turning is? A moment in history when the path disappears? When everything gets slippery and loud? When fear is real, but so is movement? In the canyon, you don't walk around the obstacles. You go through them. We are all walking through a canyon right now. The walls are high, the current fast, the future unclear. But if we keep moving, we just might emerge into something brighter, something more alive than before. The fourth turning isn't about a single war or election. It's about systems cracking under the weight of debt, mistrust, inequality, and generational tension. In every fourth turning, there's collapse, but also rebirth. The old order dies so that something new can take its place. This isn't the end of the story, it's the end of an era. And like all eras, it's followed by something new. Despite everything, I have to remind myself I'm so lucky to be here on this earth with all its beauty and its bullshit. When things don't work out or things fall apart, life always seems to have something even better in store. We don't see it at the moment. We can't. At times, life appears as a movie with an open ending. But sooner or later, you find your perspective of how things end. You decide.